Hi, Matt with eTrailer. Today we're going to be talking about the Hollywood Racks Destination e-bike rack on the 2023 Toyota Highlander. I think this is going to be a solid choice for the Highlander if you're looking to haul any heavy e-bikes. And that's because this carrier can carry up to 70 pounds per bike, holding up to two of them. And it's going to have a lot of strap down points. It's going to have two on the front, one on the back tire, and it's going to have this very sturdy clamp on our frame. Now, unfortunately, I wouldn't recommend using any carbon frame bikes because that clamp might damage the frame some. What I do like about this clamp though is it can adjust on this center mast, so it will be able to accommodate a lot of different or alternative frames. Something I like about this rack, even though it carries heavy e-bikes, it does tilt away with a lot of ease. So all I have to do is come down here and twist this knob. This is probably the most inconvenient part about it. And if once this is kind of loosened up, I'll just have to push it back. And that'll allow me to use the tilt away feature. And tilting it away, it tilts away really easy, especially with your e-bikes on there, because we have these center points here that allows it to pivot, and where they're placed just allows it a lot of ease. And it tilts away pretty aggressively, allowing you that easy hatch access. When your hatch is up, that'll allow you the opportunity to grab any necessary gear you need, maybe some shoes, a helmet, or whatever else you might need. After when you've grabbed everything you need, you just have to tilt it back up. Tilting it up is very easy too. All you have to do is push up, and where those pivot points are located allows it a very easy transition. Once it's back up, just make sure you push that knob back into place and turn it down so it tightens. Another feature that I like about this rack is it comes with this very durable telescoping ramp. And that's just going to allow you to place it on so it's easier to get your bikes off. Now there are a couple cons, and one of the cons is it doesn't come integrated with the rack, so you just got to remember to bring it with you. Another con is it only attaches to the rear side of our cradles. To do that, we just have to bring it down here and loosen it up a bit with this knob. Once you've loosened it up, you have the ability to telescope it and just attach it to the end here, just placing it on this knob. Once you have it situated, you can tighten it back down. And once it's tightened down, then you can use it. Now, since we have our bike on this side, we won't be able to kind of roll it off the backside since we have this wall here. That can kind of simulate if you're in any situations with like a parking lot and someone's kind of parked next to you and you can't take it off. So we have a workaround to get around that. So I'll show you that by taking off the bike. To do that, we're just going to start by taking off these front straps. I'm just going to press this clip on the back and pull the strap through, repeating the process on the other side. And on the back tire as well. I also like to loosen these straps on the front so they're not in the way when I try to get it off of here. And then I'll come to our clamp. When I do that, I just like to make sure I have a hand on the clamp, and I like to loosen this up. This does have a locking mechanism on it, just with this lock core here, just in case you want that added security. Just underneath that tab. Once it's loosened up, you can remove our clamp. Might have to loosen it up a little bit more. Just slide the clamp away. And now I can just pick this up, transfer it over to the next tray over, and push it down our ramp. And with it off, I can take it for a ride. And with our bike off, we can kind of start putting everything back up. So I like just to take our ramp off, kind of secure that back up. And you can put that back in your vehicle. And then next I'm going to start putting our straps back up making sure they're secured and not flopping around. And if you notice, looking at these cradles as well, they're going to be able to accommodate 4.5-inch tires, and with the curved shape of our trays, that's going to let us accommodate a lot of different wheelbases. And once these are all situated, we can move to our center mass here. What I like about it too, it has this additional strap with this hook and loop on it, just to make sure this isn't kind of swinging around. To put down our mast, what we have to do is, I like to kind of loosen these knobs a bit so they're just not so as tight. And with them loosened up, we can remove our rubber straps on either side, and that'll loosen up our handles on the side, allowing us to remove our center mass and put it down. You might have to move some things around, but once it's down, you can come back over here and secure our handles so the mass stays flush with the rack. Putting these rubber straps on so they don't fling back up. And with that situated, everything's put up, we can kind of get some measurements now on how it interacts with the back of our vehicle. So, from the back of our bumper to the back of the rack, we're going to have about a little over 40 inches. So that's going to add a decent amount to your vehicle. So if you're in any tight spots like a garage or parking spot, that's something to be mindful of. As for our ground clearance, from this furthest point back, lowest point, we're going to have about just over 19 inches. So that's kind of low, but with that rise in the shank, that's going to help keep it above the ground. But I'd kind of be mindful if you're going up any steep hills. If you want to cut down on space though, you can tilt it up. To do that, I want to come right over here. And I'm going to take this clip off. That's going to let us have access to our pin. I'm just going to pull it through like so. You might have to wiggle a little bit. And now you can just fold it up, line it up with those holes, and just push your pin back through. And make sure you clip it on with the clip. And now, that's going to save you a lot of room, and the furthest point we'll have will be just about 16 inches, and that's going to save you a ton of room. As for how it's interacting with the back of the vehicle, we're going to see bits and pieces of the license plates, but it's going to block a lot of our backup camera. And our taillights are going to be mostly visible, along with our back window. And it's going to attach to our Highlander with our 2-inch shank into our 2-inch hitch receiver. On top, we're going to have this welded stopper, and that's just going to make sure you don't push it in too far, so it's an easy fit. And it's going to have this pin running through it with this locking cord, and that locking cord is going to use the same key system as our locking clamp. And on the back, we're going to have this knob. That's just going to let you turn it so you can prevent any rattling, and that's nice too because it's tool free. So if you liked everything you've seen today, that was just a look at the Hollywood Racks Destination e-bike rack on the 2023 Toyota Highlander.